thing, this magnificent journey that we're on. And guess what? Each of us is on our own unique journey. None of us are the same. None of us have the same journey. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? None of us have the same journey. It's all meant to be unique. And so we're coming to that time of year where we celebrate, what is it tomorrow? Valentine's Day. You know what the greatest gift you can give yourself from Valentine's Day? It's the gift of self-love. And you know how the best way you can give self-love? Meditate. Meditate, because it frees you from the attachment to your body. It frees you from the attachment of the illusions of your mind. It allows you to connect with the deeper part of you that is just there all the time, waiting for you to just connect with it, just be with it. And that's all that matters. It's all that matters. And we get bought up in the illusion. We think that love is about candy. Love is about flowers. Love is about buying diamonds and jewelry and going out for special dinners. Let me tell you, if you buy into that, you are a testimony to the American advertising system, which has hooked you on that like you can't imagine. Yeah, you have been domesticated into believing that love is something that it's not. Now, wow, you're saying, Lee, you're really going out there. And I said, yeah, because there are people whose lives will be greatly, greatly upset when they don't receive things. And I'm going, really? A candy says, I love you? Remember, when I say I love you, I'm talking about I accept you. That's the ultimate act of love. To accept someone and all of their uniqueness. Not part of them. Not liking just them or part of them. Not lusting after part of them, but truly accepting all of them. That is the ultimate act of love. And so when you accept someone and you give them candy, you're sort of saying, hey, have this candy and we'll give you a little extra weight. We'll put some sugar in your system. We'll get you going crazy. Hell, we'll feed your diabetes as well. And you're saying, oh, Lee, you're really going off the deep end. I said, yes, I am. Why is it that more than 50% of our country is obese? Why is it that 30% of our country is diabetic? Because we don't think for ourselves. Did you notice what I just said? We don't think for ourselves. In other words, what am I implying out there, gang? I'm implying personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. And that's what we don't have in this country. We do not take responsibility for our lives. Here's the key. We won't hold others accountable either that are in our lives. We will blindly go along and let them misuse us or whatever. No. We must first take responsibility for our lives and surround ourselves with like-minded people. And then we hold each other accountable. And when we hold each other accountable, we're holding each other up. We're lifting. We're actually loving them. Elijah says, hey, have you ever read The Power of Now? 4 or 5 times. Read A New Earth 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I've read that one. Thank you for bringing it up because I'm always interested in a new book. But here's the thing. We get hung up in the West on this whole idea of getting more and more and more information. I remember when I was a new minister, I was only a year into ministry, and I asked a seasoned minister, I said, where can I go to get more information? And he looked at me and he said, you've already got everything you need. And I was startled. He says, here's what you need to do. You need to meditate more. Did you just hear that? You need to meditate more. I took that very seriously. I pondered that. I questioned that. I still get information, but I meditate a lot. I've dedicated my life to learning meditation, to studying under great teachers of meditation. Now I understand it's not about learning about meditation. It's sitting. It's practicing meditation. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't understand meditation, you can join me every morning at 7 a.m. So an hour before I do this, I have a group on Zoom and we meditate every day together. And if you want to join, it's real simple. Just go to agapespiritualcenter.com, agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the events or calendar tab, and you'll find the Zoom link. All you do is click it and pop, and I'll guide you. I'll help lead you, because you won't need to be led very long because you're going to get it. And there's a lot more power when we meditate together. So maybe that's a gift you give yourself for Valentine's Day tomorrow. Join me for meditation. Ooh, I didn't know I was going to make this a solicitation, but I love it. Here's the other thing that I want to say about that. Last Sunday, if you didn't watch my talk on YouTube, you can find it on YouTube. And it's on Facebook, but you got to look harder on Facebook. But on YouTube, it was about what is love. I might suggest, because I know the weather here today is going to be unbearable. It's going to probably start icing and raining, and it's in the 20s. It's going to get down lower than that. So it's really not a good day to do much. Watch that video on what is love. And tomorrow at 10:30, I'm going to do my live celebration on the same platform you're watching right now or listening to right now. And I'm going to talk about how to better self-love. I'm going to actually go into the process of developing a habit of loving oneself, because without that, you can't love anyone else. Did you just hear what I said? The deeper, deeper, deeper you fall in love, that you accept yourself, is the ability that you will have to give to others. And so when you look at someone and you say, well, they don't have a lot of love to give, that's because they're not giving themselves a lot of love. It has nothing to do with you. It never does. The amount of love someone receives is the amount of love they're giving to themselves. And the universe reflects back to them what they're giving to themselves. It's a real simple thing. It's called the law of cause and effect. It's the law of reciprocity. It's the law of giving and receiving. It's the law of mirroring. It's all the same law. Who you are draws to you what you are. And what does that give? It makes you 100% responsible for your life. You can't pawn it off on someone else. You cannot be the victim. You can't look for power and source outside of yourself, because everything you need is right where you are. And I go back to where I started. The power to understand that comes as we meditate. When we go into the stillness, we release our attachment to this body. We release our attachment to this mind. We release our attachment to our unrealistic expectations about life. And we literally start being the magnificence that we are. Just being the magnificence that we are. You see, that's what the third chakra is, the navel chakra. It's a chakra of being. We don't realize it, but that's a major chakra. That's where most blockage in the chakra centers are, is in that third chakra. If you remember, when you were in your mother's womb, that's where you received nourishment. You received food and water through that chakra, through the belly button, and you also received life force. That's what that chakra means. It's life force. And when that's blocked, not a good thing. So if you want to unblock it, simple way is just start breathing consciously into it, deep breathing into it, and set the intention that it's now clearing. There's a lot more to talk about on that, but this is not the time nor the place for that. This is good morning. This is thoughts that can change your life. This is not deep class. Hey, if you want deep classes, I'm going to be starting new classes in the month of March. All you got to do is go to agapespiritualcenter.com, click on the tab of either the calendar or the classes, and you'll find them there. We're going to be looking at the 5 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And we're going to also be looking at the Basics of Science Mind as presented by Frederick Bales. It's great. 6 weeks on that. You'll love it. Becca, you started doing Wim Hof. I love it. The more and more people I get doing Wim Hof, the more better I feel, because there's nothing better than breathing. You're breathing in oxygen. You're breathing in life force. You're actually deepening your connection. You're using oxygen's a natural inflammatory. It stops your body's inflammation. Your body heals from breathing deep. Oh, I'm so grateful that you started. Everyone I'm teaching, everywhere I teach, I bring in the deep breathing. And I think Wim Hof is probably as good an example as anyone, as good an example as I've found anywhere. And so I do them every day, twice a day. Done it for over a year and a half. My wife and I do it every morning together. We sit in our chairs next to each other and we Wim Hof, and then we meditate for 30 minutes every morning like clockwork. Don't miss. When you find something that's really good, you don't want to stop it, because when you do, you notice the difference. So, Valentine's Day, most perfect day to love yourself. Most perfect day to get back into a regular meditation practice. The most perfect day to just be you. So if no one tells you it, I will. I love you and I accept you just like you are. So go be you, because that's all that love wants. That's all that love needs. That is love. Aloha.